Hi, welcome to Opentimeclock 2008, and this demo video I'll show you how to add users on your administrator account. I'm now already logged into my administrator account. As you can see on the upper right hand side, the admin name is already there. Now if you want to add your user from your administrator account, all you have to do is to go to the setting page, and then on the left hand side you will see several tabs here. The very first tab that you will be using to add user is the user tab. Now under the user screen, you can see here the add user button, and then all you have to do is click the add user button in order for you to start adding your employee information. Now as of this point, after I click the add user button, you will be prompted to put in all the information for this employee. Let's say I want to add one employee named Robert Davis. Okay, and then the username I want him to use would be his first name, and last name would be his password. And barcode would be optional, as well as the employee number is also optional. It's also important for you to add employees' email address for easy tracking purposes. So let's say robert.davis@company.com. That's his email. His hourly rate should be put here. If you want to set up the weekly overtime, if you want to monitor his weekly overtime beyond 40 hours, you can put it in, you can leave it at turn on. You can turn on also the daily overtime. If you wish to monitor the daily overtime beyond 8 hours, you can turn it on. Now if you want to monitor beyond 12 hours of work or 14 hours of work, you can also turn this on, the daily double time. As of this point, I will just leave it off. And also time zone, setting up the time zone is very important for correct timekeeping purposes. And the department that you want him to be with should be placed here. As of this point, there is no department created yet, so there's nothing to pick, so let's just leave it blank for now. Now under the role, I want this employee role as an employee. This user can also be a manager if you wish to make him a manager. The difference between an administrator and a manager is that administrator is the overall overseer of the setting. Now as an administrator, and you set up this user as a manager, you can restrict this manager to allow to edit his employee's time card, allow this manager to, or restrict this manager from seeing the setting, the company setting. And you can also restrict this manager to allow to see the reports. So you have capability of restricting this manager of seeing those as an administrator. But if you set him up as a manager or as an administrator, he has all the leeway to do whatever he can do because he has the same access as yours as an administrator. So let's say I want to have this user to be set up as an employee role, and I want to allow him to remember his password. Alright, so next one we have auto lunch deduction. If they have a fixed schedule, let's say 9 to 6, if you set it to yes, you don't have to ask your employee to clock out during lunchtime and clock back in after lunch break, because you have already set up an automatic 60 minutes lunch deduction after, let's say, 5 hours of work. The system will automatically deduct 60 minutes or 30 minutes of their time. But if you wish to monitor the lunch break, and if you want them to be forced to log out and log back in after the lunch break, you just have to set it no. Alright, so I will set it no because I want to monitor their lunch time. And since this employee has a fixed 9 to 6 schedule and they don't have an overtime, they don't have a mandatory overtime, meaning to say I have to turn this off, the daily overtime. So I can set the clock time limit. Clock time limit, if you turn it on, you will have two options. you're limiting your employee to clock in too early and to clock out very late. So if you click the box here, early time limit, meaning to say regardless if we clock in earlier than that time, the system will still recognize their schedule or clock time in schedule as 9 a.m. Now if you click here the late time limit, you're preventing this employee to clock out too late. So regardless if he clocks in at or clock out at 6:30, the time set for the timeout clock will still be 6 p.m. Okay, so if there will be an overtime, all you have to do is to instruct your employee to put note on their clock in, so they can go ahead, you can go ahead and see it and then edit the timesheet for their overtime. Also, next on the line we have GPS. Allow employee to clock in when GPS is not applicable or NA. You have another option here, not allow employee to clock in when GPS is NA, meaning to say if your system or your device do not detect any GPS, if you pick this one, allow employee to clock in when GPS is NA. If your device, PC or your mobile phone did not detect any GPS location at all, they can still go ahead and clock in and out or log in and out from their account. Usually this is set up as allow employee to clock in and out to avoid problems. Memo is just a footnote, a simple footnote for this employee if you want to add some footnote on it. Now I'm gonna click add. Now you will see the big green check here, meaning it's already been added, and you will be sent back to the user screen where you can see the Robert Davis, the one that we have just added, his username, his email, his role as an employee. Now if he forgot his password, all you have to do is to click the edit here and then change his password and then save the settings once again. Alright, and if you want to delete this employee, meaning let's say this employee is no longer with the company, just simply delete. Now just a few reminder, if you delete any information from this page, you won't be able to retrieve any other information. Now you will be asked if you want to archive, if you want to delete it. If you just want to archive this employee number or employee name, we can put this on the server, but it's not going to be included on the list here. Now let's say I want to put this archive. Now the name Robert Davis is no longer here, but if you want to show, if you want to see his name again, just click the show inactive users and you will see Robert's name here again. Now you will see here as an employee, he's no longer an employee but an inactive user. Now meaning to say maybe he's a part-timer and he goes seasonal to his work. Now let me go ahead and change his role to employee again, so he'll become active status again, and then I'm gonna save his details here again. Of course you will be sent back to the same screen, which is the user screen. Now you will see that he's already active and is now back as an employee. You will see an additional button here, which is this button. You can only see this to both department and full name, meaning to say this is the button that you need to use if you want to sort the name of the employee alphabetically and the department alphabetically as well, if you already have a department. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on our next video. Have a great day.